88.9 WERS.
My Trini got their imagination. He think you're looking when you walk on by. He think the world is one big mirror. You get upset and then it don't feel right when you walking, talking down the sidewalk, smoking clothes, tucking stride by stride. I tell them, Trini, you are not what you consider.
Hi, my name is Nina with 88.9 WERS, and we're here with Ryan Montbleau at the Life is Good Festival. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So yesterday and today at the coffee house stage, you had kind of the honor of setting up and curating the whole lineup of that. So how did that happen? How were you asked to do it, and how has it gone so far? Because yesterday's, completed.
Yeah, yesterday is completed. We're into today. And I'm a curator all of a sudden. I don't know. It was amazing. Yeah, they said they wanted to make this coffee house stage, and they said we want you to book it and kind of do whatever you want and put it together. So it was, I'm proud of kind of what came together, and I'm really proud of all the acts who are up there. And a lot of them are my close friends, but some of them aren't. But they're all like people who I love and artists who I really believe in, to do that stage and to kind of represent sort of the vibe here. They're all like really positive and they're all great artists. So yeah, yesterday was a great day. It was cool, man. It was like cool to see my friends and then also have them like play for everyone and sit and get to see them. And Nathan Moore is like one of my favorite writers in the world, and he drove up from Virginia for the gig to do it, and it was just like one person after another. It was like sort of, it felt like being home. Kind of, it was cool.
Yeah. And then I know, so Mike Doty closed off that set, and it's kind of like a big finale of sorts. So how did that go too?
Oh, it was great. It was the best to it was like Hall & Oates finished. There was only one thing going on at the festival, and it was Mike Doty in the coffee house stage. So, yeah, he was great. That guy's just like, he's something else. He's a guy, it's like, I'm friendly with him. He's not like my close friend, but he was one guy I was like, wow, we got Mike Doty, he's so good. Like, that guy just has an energy that's different than like anybody's, so he was great.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was it like? How did you decide what bands or musicians you wanted to add to the lineup? Like, did you go with the mindset of like, well, let's see who I can reach out to, like starting with friends, or was it like you had an idea in mind of the kind of sound you were going for? I kind of went, it wasn't about, it just so happened that I ended up kind of with a lot of friends who were also great, I think, but it wasn't about like, oh, let me, it certainly wasn't like, let me hook up my friends or something, but it was like, they wanted a coffee house stage, so they told me, kind of like a Passim vibe or something, which is like, I love playing solo shows in listening rooms, and that's what I wanted to do. I think like, I play a lot of festivals, and one thing I've always wanted to see a little more of was like some kind of space where you could go take in something in a quiet way, and just sit and listen and take something in, and you don't have to dance, you don't have to be out, like kind of going crazy with everyone. There's a lot of that at festivals, which is great, but it's raining on. Oh, the water fell off.
Is that a sign I'm giving the wrong answer? Like, sorry. No, but no, you know what I mean? Like, just, I definitely wanted to go with that idea of like a coffee house, like a listening space. So those are the kind of artists I had in mind. There's like a lot of solo acts and a lot of people who could certainly play on the main stage too, but they're, I kind of wanted people who sort of bring people in, and people who are also like, fit the vibe of Life is Good. The Life is Good is like very genuinely like optimistic and positive, and like these people who work for Life is Good like really believe in that, and they just spread that. So I wanted to get some artists, who represented that, and like, I have some friends who I love who are artists who like maybe don't fit that as well as like some of the guys we got. So
awesome. So going along with that, Life is Good is so like very forward in that it's like very optimistic and positive, and it really spreads quickly throughout the people who come here, the people who are working, the bands that are playing. So is there like a phrase or a thing that like you frequent either thinking about or doing, like some act or thought that over the years has kind of become like your go-to pick-me-up?
I wouldn't say like a single phrase or something. I will say on the just in terms of like what we're talking about with the Life is Good thing, like I see this in clubs when I tour around. Like, you see the vibe that a place has is set by like is set from the top down, you know what I mean? I see it in clubs. Like, you can just tell when like sometimes you go into a club and it's like no one really cares, and it's just kind of like oh, another band, let's do it. And then there are other places you go where they like people really want to put on, like everybody, the door guy, the guys doing the stage, the lighting, you know, everybody like cares about putting on a good show, and that seems to come from the top down. And I think that's true here at Life is Good. Like the people who are running this like really genuinely care, and I think that spreads to other people, you know. So I think like, you know, just truth, like I've always, I don't know, tried to be as honest as I can with myself and with others. And then you know, it's kind of been a hard road, sort of being out there making a living as a musician is like, it's wonderful, but it can be really hard. So there's no one thing, you know. For me nowadays, like honestly, like sobriety is like really awesome. That keeps me positive and clear. And I'm not in recovery or anything, but I'm like I like being sober for the first time. I'm 36 years old, and it's taken me years to like. This is for me. It's not for everybody, but like that really helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how did you decide to do that? Was it like a point where you realized like you know, just wanted to stop drinking for like temporarily, or was it like?
It was, I stopped before temporarily just to take a break because, you know, in the business that I'm in, it's like there are free drinks every single night, you know, or free other things or whatever. You know, we play a lot in the jam world and wherever else there's a lot, you know, and it's like, it's just, you know, and it sort of starts when you're younger and, you know, you party right through college or something and whatever. And I think that's fine, you know. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just after many years, it's like I tell everybody, like, you know, free drinks every night is great for like the first 8 or 9 years, and then it's like after a while, like for me, I had to kind of, you know, just like I said, I wasn't like out of control or anything. I just I would put it in check. I would quit. I would be like, all right, I'm going to stop. I won't drink for 3 months. You know what I mean? I won't smoke pot for 4 months or something. You know, and I would do that, and that was great. But this time, it's like it's been different. It's like. I'm not looking at those things like they're bad things. I'm looking at sobriety like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I like the feeling of being sober and being clear and stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of getting me through. That's kind of my vibe right now.
Cool. Well, that's really neat to hear. So I know. So that's like obviously a big change, and at least from past years for you. And then with your band, you're going through changes as well. So how did that come about? Was it the decision that like you wanted to try and go for a different sound or add and take things away? Or?
Yeah. No, the band. You know. My band has always just it has kind of just evolved on its own. I didn't even when we put together the band, I wasn't like, oh, I want to hear this and I want to hear that and I got to get this. It was just like I tried to generally surround myself with good guys, and I was lucky enough to meet some, and then, you know, things would evolve over the years, but basically I tried to give some good guys some autonomy to make their parts and make the music they want to make too, and then we all kind of made it together, you know. So it was, you know, it's called the Ryan Montbleau Band, and it was my band in a lot of ways, but it was also like, it was our band, you know. So it's just kind of evolved, and this was just the latest evolution. You know, a couple guys, after years of being on the road, or like, you know, a couple guys kind of at the same time wanted to be with their kids, and you know, sort of like a lot of bands go through. And so it's been kind of hard the last few months for me to kind of go through the change that I know is coming, because I've had such a steady thing. Like, these guys are my family, and we've been through so much together, and the band at this point is like, you know, just turn the key and it goes. We've done so many shows together.
Yeah.
But you know, they're leaving for good reasons, so I know that good things will happen, and so I just kind of need to take a step back, and, you know, I love playing solo, so I'm going to do that a little more than I was. And then I will have a band too, but I'm just like, you know, kind of taking my time. I haven't had a break in 10 years. I've been on the road 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like I just need a little bit of time, and I'm still doing stuff, but just a little bit of time to be a human being, get my feet on the ground, and then the rest will come.
Yeah, great. So obviously, I mean, you know this, but you're always welcome at WERS, and we're a non-commercial station, and we really try to get local and bigger acts as well. So for you, I know it's lent a hand, but like, how is non-commercial radio stations in general, either growing up as a child or since now as a musician, how has it helped your life?
Oh man, I started listening to 88.9 when I was like in middle school or high school, listening to 88.9 at night, listening to the hip hop at night, and like I would like hear swears on the radio sometimes and stuff. You guys are probably better about that now, but no, it's been huge for me. Like, I don't, you know, I've had a little bit of like, you know, like, I'm an independent artist, so an independent station that doesn't rely on, you know, just that isn't, you know, just commercial radio is like, it just seems to fit, you know. It's like, it's just you know, I've had a little bit of success with like getting a budget together and hiring an independent radio promoter and getting, radio play from different stations around and some commercial stations, but for the most part, like I've never had a record label. I've never had, and maybe my stuff isn't the most like, you just hear a single and it's like, oh, that says radio all over it. I haven't kind of been one of those guys. So to have somebody who does sort of support me as an artist is huge for me, and ERS was the first station I ever went on, probably 10 years ago, and here we are, and as of right now, it's the last station I've been on.
Well, we're glad that you keep
beautiful?
Coming through. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
So thank you for stopping by and talking with us.
My pleasure.
And just once again, this is Nina with 88.9 WERS. We're here with Ryan Montbleau. Life is good.